Hey, Dan Passarelli here. Hey, I'm shooting this video a little bit before the close here because I have a lot to do to prepare for tonight's online event. It's a big one, and I hope you're attending. You got an email on it. I'll give you the sign-up address when we're done here, if I remember. But I wanted to talk about something that is kind of coincidentally related to it. There was a trade that came across my screen today. Let me pull it over here. It's this one here in the middle of this time spread Genius scanner. There was a professional trader today that traded 15,000 of the KVUE, that's a company called Kenvue, 15,000 of the November, January 19 call calendars, time spreads. Now, the stock was at 1664 at the time. So for those of you who are familiar with how time spreads work, this is what we call a directional time spread. So somebody thinks that this stock is going up by about $2.50 over the next 2 weeks. Now, I don't know about you, but I honestly wasn't that familiar with Kenvue when this came across my screen and I first saw it. So I did some digging. I like this trade. This is a very interesting opportunity. So Kenvue is a company that was spun off of Johnson & Johnson. Kenvue makes Band-Aid, Neutrogena or something, and Tylenol, and a few other extremely well-known brands. Earlier in the year, there were some investors who looked at it and said, gosh, this stock is really struggling. The numbers don't look great, but it's got all these great brands. It has potential. We're big investors. We're going to invest big in this thing. They called people like that activist investors. And there's one company that had 3% stake in Kenvue. Another one that had 3%. I think there was a third one that had 3%. Another one that had like 1%. Another one that had an undisclosed amount. I mean, there are some people buying the crap out of it. Then there were some lawsuits. People in Texas, I guess, is where the lawsuit was filed, that wanted to sue or pursue some sort of damages because they make Tylenol, and they were asserting that they should have warned pregnant women because they believe it causes autism. That dragged the stock down a little bit. And a lot of times when we see these political things and a stock goes back down, it kind of goes back up. And that didn't really happen here. And so the stock really continued tanking, and these activist investors were really getting creamed until KMB, Kimberly-Clark, stepped in, and they are now buying Kenvue at a valuation of about $21 a share or so. Now you look at this is trading, I think it's 21.01 or something like that. The exact number is not important, but double check if you're looking to trade something like this. The stock is at 1656. For it to get to 21, and the deal is expected to close, if approved by shareholders and the powers that be, in the second half of 2026. And so if it'll close right around 21, it is likely to get kind of a slow drift up there. The deal was just announced 3 days ago, which happened to be right here on the same day as earnings. Earnings was announced also on the third before market open. And so the stock is hanging in there, and it's pretty likely to have low volatility but drift higher if all goes well with the sale, which from what I've read, it sounds like it is expected to. So this time spread, and I'll show you what this looks like on the chart here. Like I said, I bought some of these. Right now, the stock is at somewhere around 1654. And even if it drifts a little higher by November expiration, which is just about 2 weeks from now, I don't expect it to get all the way up to 19, which is the strike price. If it does, that's wonderful. But even if it gets about halfway up there, there's a pretty strong trade. It's unlikely that the stock heads much lower with the bid in there unless the deal falls apart. I mean, even if lawsuits go through, and as long as the Kimberly-Clark doesn't pull out, it doesn't matter. The stock is still going to the deal price by the time the deal closes. So this is a really, really strong trade, one of the strongest time spread genius trades that I've seen. And I'm going to be talking about time spread trades like this one and much simpler ones too, just neutral time spreads tonight in that online event. Make sure you're registered for it. Go to markettaker.com/REG. Market is in stock market, taker is in take what's rightfully yours /REG, short for register, markettaker.com/REG, and get yourself signed up, and we will talk time spreads this evening. Talk to you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.